Hello everyone. Today we will discuss about the topic the difference between manufacturing and service operations. So the topic the difference between manufacturing and service operations is covered under the subject production and operations management, right? So just move towards the topic. Here I am sharing the screen with the help of PPT. So in the first slide here you can see the manufacturing operations means when we are converting the inputs like your resources means materials, labor, raw material maybe, right? So when you are converting any kind of input in the systematized manner and you follow a process for that, and when you are converting that into a tangible output, right? So this kind of operation is called as basically manufacturing operations, right? So what is service operations? Service operations are never tangible, but only you can realize, only you can feel that someone has given you some service. For example, when you go to some restaurant, when you go to some hotel, so the service provided by the waiters, the service provided by the hotel, the staff, it is called as, when you feel that the service is very good, means you are satisfied, you are delighted with their hospitality. So this kind of operation, it is called as service operation. It is also transformed the input into output, but that output is not tangible, right? So let's move towards the second slide, which is clearing the difference between manufacturing and services. Manufacturing operation basically allow the separation between production and consumption. Means in manufacturing, basically the function of production is being done. Production means when you are converting the input into a tangible form of output, but there is no question of consumption over there. Means you are not consuming, because the consumption ultimately depends upon the customer. So right. So service operations are what? Service operation means customer receives service as it is performed. So thus there is a production as well as consumption of service at the same time. So this is the difference between manufacturing and service with regarding the aspect of production and consumption. Production is being done in the manufacturing operation, and in consumption and production, the both are utilized as well as in your service. So the next slide we can more clearer. So productivity is really measured in manufacturing operations, because manufacturing operations are basically tangible. Like if we say that in this weekend we will be able to produce 100 outputs, right? 100 output units. So this is productivity which is measurable, but productivity can never be measurable in your service operations, right? Yes, expenses required for material handling is more in manufacturing operations. While doing production management, while we are going through this topic, so it's a prerequisite that everyone should know what is material handling. Material handling means basically equipments are being used in the production, where the products are being moved from here to there, from one department to another department. So we need material handling equipments, right? So they need when we have to maintain material handling equipments in our production department, so they need expenses naturally. If you have to maintain some equipments, you need expenses, but that expenses are not required in the service operations. So this is also the major difference between when we are clearing between production and service. Next is customers have less contact between with people who provide manufacturing operation. Basically, when we are consuming products, we are basically concerned with the mall, with the shopkeepers, with the retailers. We are not directly buying with the company. We are not directly going with the manufacturing operations. We are not directly buying from the manufacturing people. So customers have basically less access or contact with the people, those who are actually manufacturing, right? So customers have more contact with the purpose, with the persons who provide service. No doubt the service persons are basically coming to your home, they are providing you service. For example, you have bought a fully automatic machine, but it's not necessary or it's not possible that you are buying the fully automatic machine from the manufacturing department. You are buying this through the showroom, right? And the service is provided by that showroom person also. So it is you are have a direct contact with the people who are providing you the service. But it's not possible that you have the direct contact with the people who are providing who are directly concerned with this manufacturing, right? So the next difference between manufacturing and services, quality standards are basically relative, simple and easy to establish in manufacturing operations, and now it is mandatory also if you have to buy a ISO certification. So it is mandatory to adopt the quality standards, right? But quality standards are very difficult to set up or establish in a service operation. For example, if a teacher is teaching in a class, so there are many teachers who are teaching in a particular class, like someone is teaching marketing, someone is teaching you a finance subject, someone is teaching you Hindi, someone is teaching you English, someone is teaching you uh, communication subject, someone is teaching you personality development lecture. So every teacher has a different style of teaching, right? So you cannot measure that in the same platform, right? So every teacher has a different style, every teacher has a different attitude, every teacher has a different gestures to teach you. So it's very difficult to set the quality standards in the service, right? So in the next slide, manufacturing operations depend on maintenance and repair work, no doubt. While manufacturing, while production, we need to maintain, and we need to maintain the machinery, we need to maintain the equipments. And if we are maintaining properly, if we are giving service properly, so I think there is a least chance to go for the repair work, right? But in service operations, we need not to depend upon the maintenance and repair work, because maintenance and repair work is basically applied and required in the manufacturing operations, where it is basically needed in machines, right? So in the next slide, flexibility, right? Flexibility means manufacturing operations are basically flexible in manufacturing work, method scheduling work, right? So in manufacturing work means we can shift the work from here to there. We can change our methodology regarding method of production. We may or we can change our scheduling work, right? And in the service operations, it is basically inflexible. If we talk about regarding service operations, so they are not flexible. The reason is services are in basically the direct contact with the customers, and customers are part of service system, right? So in service operations, you cannot say that service operations are flexible, they are inflexible, right? So manufacturing operations can be standardized and less customized. Basically, what is the standardized means you are producing one for all, and customized means when you are producing only with the specifications given by the customer, like jewelry shop, when you give a particular design, when you give a particular a copy of a design, that you just make a new set of my earrings, a necklace, with copying this pic or this technology. And especially in the tailor shop or in the boutiques, when you give your measurements, and every person has a different measurements, right? So this is more customized kind of business, like boutiques, like tailor, like furniture shop also. So service operations cannot produce outputs that can be stored. Basically, service operations can never be stored. Na? Manufacturing operations, when we are producing, we are storing, right? We are producing in a standard, like in a Coca-Cola plant. There are many bottles you can see in the Virka plant, in the Orkut. That means there are many examples like that. Okay? Yes. A higher amount is required to be invested in the assets like equipment, building, land, factory, vagara, vagara. So this is, it means when we are going through the, this manufacturing operations, so we need to maintain The we need to classify the expenses like direct, indirect, like in the fixed assets, like in the working capital means we suppose we have to buy a land, when then we have to build a factory, then we need to maintain the labor, then we need to hire supplier, then we need to hire many expenses are there, but that high amount is not required to be invested when you are providing service operations, right? So this is also a difference between manufacturing and service, right? So that's all about the today's lecture. Thank you, everyone.